Hi everybody, my name is Rhys Barber. I'm the audiologist here at Audiology Associates. We upload new earwax removal videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 PM UK time, so please consider subscribing. Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our earwax removal video today. One patient in this video, this lady's come through with some very deep, hard, impacted earwax. You can see that there's a little bit of a concave sort of dip in the center of the wax there, which is classic for somebody who's used a Q-tip. And you can see that the center there is really dry. It's dried onto the canal walls. Trying to use the suction tube here just to loosen any part of this, but you can see it's really firmly attached there. It's really solid in there. So we're going to need to be able to get this off the canal wall first of all, just to try and free it up. So we're going to use the oval-ended Jobson horn here. Just trying to find any sort of looser section, any gap. You can see that that part of the canal is quite narrow, it's quite small. So we've got to try and get this just leverage just behind it. Now I don't normally tend to use the Jobson horn this deep, but you can see we're really having to sort of pull this. I just want to get a little bit of movement and a little bit of detachment from the canal wall here. Just pressing, pushing against it. You can see that it's quite solid, this front end of the wax here. So it's not really sort of moving it much. It's just more sort of scraping along the front and just puckering this section up at the front here. So because we've got this little ridge, I'm going to go in with the crocodile forceps now and see if we can get a grip on this central section. Just slowing everything down so you can see what's going on. So you can see we've got a little bit of movement. Did you see it just pulled forward, but then the front section detached? So we'll just bring that out to the canal there. Now we've still got this little ridge here, okay, right in the center of the wax. So I'm going to carry on with the forceps for a second, just see if we can get a grip. So I know this is loose skin to the bottom right corner. Just trying to get a bit of a grip, but I don't know if there's enough. It's not quite prominent enough to be able to get the top and bottom jaw over that. So I've opted to use the fine end now. It gives me a little bit more room in here. You don't get as much suction, so you don't get such a good suction grip, but it does help us to really get a bit of movement in there. I've just turned the brightness down of the scope as well, because we've got a lot of glare from that dry skin in there. So I'm just going to turn that down. You can see it's just not really budging. So I've flooded this with olive oil. That's going to help it to detach from the canal wall a little bit more effectively. And it's going to help it to slide if we do get a grip on a piece of wax. This is a bit of dead skin here, so I'm just trying to loosen it off because it's the dead skin that's been holding this chunk of wax in. So I was hoping that if I could get a good grip on that little bit of dead skin, it may, especially if it's in deep enough into the wax, it may bring the wax forwards. But as you can see, it's just clearing from the side. There's a little gap to the right side there. I'm just trying to get the fine end into it because I know the Jobson horn's just going to push in. There we go. So you can see it's moved that full front section forwards there. So just switching back to the wider end now, so I can get a grip on this piece to the to the left hand side. Sorry. Just managing to get a grip on this. Just fighting with it a little bit. You can see how hard that dry skin is holding everything in place. And this is a particularly awkward position to have the wax in, just because it is very deep, which doesn't give you a great deal of room. It's very small, but the shape of the wax is awkward. Now we've got this flat section at the front here, so we're just going to try and pull that piece away there. I've just slowed that down so you can see what's going on. But the section behind this now has a very thin front end but a very wide rear section, and it's embedding a lot of this dry skin as well at the base of the canal. So the skin's holding it in, the shape of the canal's holding it, and the shape of the wax are all working against one another, which makes this particularly difficult. So you're gonna see me going in and maneuvering this wax quite a bit. So while I'm doing that, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your understanding over the last 2 weeks. it's been crazy here. We've had lots to do here. We've been trying to update all our computer systems to make us paperless, which took a lot of time, and we've also expanded the clinic here in our Ebervale branch, so it means that we've actually expanded into the room next door, which also took a lot longer than we thought it would. So we've been very, very busy little people last couple of weeks, but it does mean now that Mrs. B has her own home next door, which is going to mean that you're going to see a lot more on the social media side of things coming on along over the next couple of weeks and months. We also broke 200,000 subscribers. I go away for 2 weeks and you guys go crazy, which is absolutely fab. So thank you so much for that as well. We really appreciate all your efforts in sort of sharing and liking our videos. If we do disappear for any reason, we always put on a community tab on YouTube. So if you are looking, if you think something's up or you don't see us for a little while, pop over there. It'll usually explain what's going on. But thanks again, guys. It was much appreciated. And all your well wishes as well. I'm sorry I panicked you all. You all thought it was not very well. So we've managed to get this little piece of wax now much further down the canal. And you can see we've just got a little bit of a ridge to work on here. It becomes a little bit awkward because we have a very thin front section to the wax here, and it's very dry, which means the suction can't get a really good grip. It's very crumbly, which means the crocodile forceps are not getting a good enough grip and being able to hold on without breaking a section off the front. And it is so close to the eardrum that we can't get behind it with the Jobson horn or the St. Bart's hook. So just a real stubborn piece of wax here. It's not. It doesn't want to play ball. I'm trying my best to grip it from the sides. There you go. You can see what I mean about it being crumbly. You can get the grip, but as soon as you get put any pressure from the jaws onto the wax, it's just crumbling underneath. So I'm trying to reposition this piece of wax if I can. Going back to the fine end because it's going to give me a little bit more movement with the suction tube. Just trying to peel this section here from the left hand side of the canal wall across to the right side. And back again. There's a little gap at the bottom here, so I'm going to see if I can get the jaws underneath this. And we get a grip and it starts to come forwards and then it breaks. And then you can see that because it's come forwards now, we've lost that little edge to work on. So it's back in now with the fine end here just to bring this forwards. Trying to work down either side. I'm trying to turn the wax because as it stands at the moment, we've got this kind of U, almost like a little bit of a U shape to it. So you can see the forward section here. It kind of bends back on itself just around that corner to the right hand side. So I'm trying to lift it and bring this narrow edge through and then try and turn it to get it around that corner. But as you can see, it's not really playing ball at the moment. It doesn't want to come out easily. Now there are two pieces of wax here. We've got the main bulk, which is to the left hand side, and this smaller piece here to the right, both of which are attached to some dry skin underneath, which is the two layers are one over the top of the other, which is what's causing this little bit of a problem, because you get a bit of movement and then that smaller piece at the top holds it in place and the skin is holding everything in. It doesn't want to let it go. It's so dry, this wax. Okay, just going in with a larger tube now to see if I can get a better grip. Lots and lots of switching tools on this one, just trying to find any way of getting this out. I mean, the reason this lady's come through to see us, she's has hearing aids but struggling to wear them at the moment, really not getting on very well with them because she just can't hear very well. This is so deeply impacted into her ear, and we've introduced a little bit of olive oil here just to try and lubricate the canal, see if we can help us to get a grip with the suction as well. It's trying to soften some of that skin. It kind of has lots and lots of different effects in there. So we can't leave this in place because this poor lady's really not hearing very well and she's struggling to hear her family. Okay, we're going to go, hit a little bit of olive oil. So we're going to grab this now. We're just trying to find any part. I'm trying to aim for a little bit of white skin you can see at the top. Because sometimes when you get hold of that skin, because it's embedded into the wax, it'll hold on really nicely. But I did get a bit of movement, so I'm going to try and move it now to get a better grip. You can see the white layer underneath. That's that dry skin which has just been holding everything in place. The screen's got a little bit misty because of the olive oil. I'm going to switch to I'm not really getting enough movement with the standard size ulnar tube, so I'm going to switch to the fine end again now. Just trying to roll it forwards. You can see how loose it is. It's moving back and forth really easily, but because it's got this section, you can just see to the left and underneath that white layer, that's the skin section that's holding everything in place. I'm trying to break that kind of adhesion in there. We've got a little bit of a gap. We're going to go in with the crocodile forceps now. Hold on to it. There you go. It broke away again. There we are. Now we've managed to pull that top section forwards now. You can see it's crumbling underneath. It is going to come away though. We've got it further forwards than we've managed to do before. Let's hold on to it now. See if we can drag this across to allow us to get the forceps in more effectively. But you can see it's just so brittle in there. Just to try and even get a grip on it with the suction tube is proving really hard, even with the narrow end there. Really trying to kind of get any grip I can. You can see it's just pushed it further in though. I came very, very close to giving up on this one and having this lady back in a week or so's time, softening up a little bit. But bless her, she was so desperate to get this out. We had the time, so she was happy to sit through and get this done. You can see that white layer again there, like that skin layer underneath. You can see the canal is quite pink. Some of that's going to be irritation from the wax. Some of that's going to be just the dryness of the skin in there. Now we've got a good layer there to get hold of. We've turned the wax, so we've got a good layer. We're just going to be really delicate position in the forceps. We've got a grip, and there it comes. Okay, so we got it out. Have a look at this now. I'm going to turn it on its side when it comes out the canal, and have a look at those two white layers. Those two layers are the dry skin. Now that's what's been anchoring this into place near that eardrum, and no wonder it just wouldn't budge. It was attached at the top and bottom there in two different sections. So we can see the eardrum there. Yes, there's a lot of pinkness around the outside, but then that wax has been sat down in there. The skin itself is very dry. There's a tiny bit of wax here to the right hand side, just to the right of the fine end. There we go. That's taken away now. And there's the eardrum looking clear. That's just very dry skin, red dry skin in there. So this is the patient's other ear. So we've got a second ear to do. You can see that kind of dry crumbliness to the wax on this side as well. I'm going to use the standard size ulnar here, just lifting from the bottom. Just starting to tease some of these pieces away. So we put a little bit of olive oil in just to help this along. There we go. You can see. Do you see how it detaches a lot more easily from the canal walls? This dry type of wax when you put a bit of olive oil in there. So you can see it's coming away in installments. So lots of little dry, flaky pieces coming away. Just trying to detach from the left canal wall and the bottom there as well. Just slowing this down because you do see that piece getting sucked in there. You can see the skin lifting from the base of the canal, look. And as we take that piece away, then we detach that top section. That little dry section coming away. We go in now, we've got this ring of dry wax and dry skin there. So we just get a grip on the bottom section and watch what happens. It starts to pull on that layer of dry skin. The dry skin starts to detach and comes away from the canal walls. We start to bring this top section down. So you can see it was one continuous piece, all held in place by that dry skin. So really just pulling this top section away. There we go. Sorry, my voice is starting to go now. And then we can see we've got a few little sort of straggly pieces of wax left over. So we'll just pick these little dry bits away. There you go. You can see it all getting sucked into the tube there. We've got a piece top right of the drum and to the left hand side as well. So we'll get the left hand piece first. There we are. You can see that dry section there. And then we'll go back in now. Let's collect this piece just to the right side, just staying away from it, and that's it, suctioning it towards us. There we go. A little bit there to the left. A little bit there to the top. So we get those bits as well. There we go. You can see those feathery dry bits of skin there. There's the eardrum there. And this is what we removed. So it looked massive, but it was quite a small piece, but lodged in a really difficult place to maneuver it around. So 2.5 centimeters altogether, an inch worth of wax in both ears. Thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you on Wednesday.